Hey YouTube, this is Saved by the Blood 2020. Please like and subscribe to keep getting this content. I'll leave a link in the description as well. If you would like to donate anything through the me.paypal link. So I was looking at some stuff. We just had Veterans Day, and this is the hidden history of an incredibly evil Khazarian Mafia. So that there's the Jesuits, and then there's this Khazarian Mafia. Okay, so this is this is by Preston James, PhD. This is directly on Veterans Today, actually. I think it was posted on Veterans Day. The history of the Khazarians, specifically the Khazarian Mafia, KM, the world's largest organized crime syndicate. That Khazarian oligarchy morphed into their own development of Babylonian money magic. Okay, so these are the people of old, the people in the Babylonian times. In the times of Babylon. Okay, that's what you need to understand, that even if these, like Babylon was conquered, so even though that occurred, that doesn't mean they just, all the people, their rituals, their rites, their beliefs, which are basically a culmination of the esoteric secret mystery religions, still exist today. Okay, but here it talks about how it's been nearly completely excised from the history books. The present day KM knows that it cannot operate or exist without abject secrecy, and therefore has spent a lot of money having its history exorcised from the history books in order to prevent citizens of the world from learning about its evil beyond imagination that empowers this world's largest organized crime cabal. Okay. The authors of this article have done their best to resurrect this lost secret history of the Khazarians and their large international organized crime syndicate. So that's known as the Octopus, what their organized crime, with all the tentacles basically that are reaching into everything. So, but yeah, if you look up Octopus Crime Syndicate, that's what that is. But see, these veterans, that could be parts of militias. They're sick and tired of this because they know what's going on. They're waking up, and a lot of them are still, whether veterans or not, they're in the military, still in law enforcement, and they're like on the front lines and see how this is covered up and who's in control. Okay, so it was Mike Harris that connected the dots and made the actual discovery of the presence of the Khazarian Mafia's secret history and blood oath to take revenge on Russia for helping Americans win the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, and their blood oath of revenge against America and Americans for winning these wars and sustaining the Union. Okay. So, and the shockwaves from his historic speech in Damascus continue to reverberate around the world, even to this very day. And now Gordon Duff has asked President Putin to release Russian intel, which will expose about 300 traitors in Congress for their serious civil. Okay, so they probably already have for espionage. They probably are already listed in indictments. That's what I'm trying to tell you. These traitors in Congress. So don't worry about that. Felonies and statutory espionage on behalf of the Khazarian Mafia against America and the Middle East nations. Okay, so we now know that the KM Khazarian Mafia is waging a secret war against America and Americans by the use of false flag, Gladio-style terrorism, and via the illegal and unconstitutional Federal Reserve System. Yeah, federal. There ain't nothing federal about it. Okay, the IRS, the FBI, and FEMA. Okay, yeah, the Federal Reserve System. I'll do a video on that. Yeah, it's real federal. It's private. Okay, but anyway, so this is on this Octopus, and these, have people that have credentials, that have a lot to lose by coming forward with this information. So the Octopus, the Criminal Cabal of Guns and Drugs, by David Gaia. Okay. it is one of those stories that even the wildest novelists can't properly imagine a group of well-placed government bureaucrats and politicians, plus numerous CIA spooks and military covert ops types shake hands with the mafia and agree to do business on the QT. So these are the people that are in these sex trafficking rings. Well, this is like the shadow government, as you would say, that are actually the enforcers. There's assassins, there's poachers that are poaching on people. I don't mean in the hunting way. I mean, they're poaching on victims. You see all those kids on the milk cartons, all the children that disappear every year. And this is worldwide. I'm not talking about just in the US. Okay. But let's see. Yeah, this stuff's getting more and more out in the open. In exchange for the mafia's help for the Sicily landing, mafia kingpin Lucky Luciano was released from prison in the U.S. for exile in Italy. Okay, so you just read. Okay, they're into drug. They control the drug trade too. And look at. That would be another video. But all these drug lords and the Mexican warlords, there's a ton of witchcraft that is involved in that, and they do that for protection. Okay, but they have false idols and idolatry that they're into, and they do that as because they believe their gods are going to protect them, because they know what they're doing is wrong, but they believe that there's power in it. They're appeasing their gods. Okay, so yeah, you can look over this. This has a lot of information on it, and also, this is Father Martin and the gay Jesuit Mafia. So these Jesuit priests, okay, when it comes to the controversy surrounding Jesuit priest Father Jim Martin, there are two truths that should be considered. The first is that the recent rescinding of an invitation to Martin to speak at the theological college. Okay, so there's been a criticism from conservative Catholics. Apparently, for years there's been a problem with with liberal and homosexual priests in the Catholic Church trying to change doctrine. Their personal behavior has often put young male students at risk for sexual abuse. Yeah, well, clearly it's blatant in in the Catholic Church, and that's nothing new. However, the problem is they have a type of immunity where they cannot be tried. That's the thing. So they can get away with it. Okay, as I observed in my book, God and Man at Georgetown Prep in the 1960s, 70s, 80s, the Catholic Church and primarily the Jesuits experienced a major influx of homosexuals. This wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Gay priests ran the theater and arts programs, taught us compassion and mercy, and understood rock and roll. I don't have personally anything against homosexuals, but I know it's wrong under God's eyes, and I love them still and feel and pray for them. That's the thing. It's not like I have this vindictive hate towards them. I have a love towards them because I know they need to repent and get. The way they're living, they're so stuck in a spiritual battle. That's what it is. But it's not like I have any animosity towards these people. A lot of them are good people. And a lot of them have been sexually abused at a young age. That's the thing. And that's why they've turned into that lifestyle. When they are offended at a young age through these rituals, it attaches through the offense. It attaches the spirits onto you. That's the thing. So that's what you need to understand. But they just need to repent and purge that off of them, and stop living in sin, find Christ, and grace covers everything. That's what I'm telling you. Okay, there were a lot of gay priests around in the 1980s. Indeed, a majority of brothers and administrators when I was a student at Georgetown Prep. Okay, so yeah, this is nothing new, but he wants a relaxation of the church. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video. This is Saved by the Blood 2020. Please leave comments. If you would like me to cover any specific topic, you can send me an email or leave it in the public forum. Thanks for watching. And, yeah. I appreciate that. And keep America, the president, in your prayers. I think this is an important time and turning point and tipping point in history. Thank you.